There comes a moment in every life when you realize that strength is not found in noise, but in truth. Paul Washer reminds you that the greatest battle you will ever fight is the one inside your own mind, and the greatest tool you possess is the ability to learn. Every day offers a fresh chance to rise above confusion and step into clarity. When you educate yourself with purpose, you begin to see what others ignore. You begin to understand what others fear. This speech calls you to awaken a deeper hunger for knowledge that leads to conviction, character, and unshakable spiritual discipline. The one who learns every day walks with a different fire, and you are called to walk with that fire today. The mind you build determines the life you live, because every thought you allow to grow inside you becomes the foundation of your future. When you wake up each day and choose to feed your mind with truth, discipline, and wisdom, you prepare yourself to face a world that constantly tries to distract and weaken you. Paul Washer reminds you that you cannot rise above the level of your thinking, and you cannot expect strength if you refuse to train your inner world. The person who wins in life is the person who first wins the private battle in the silence of their own mind. If the mind is strong, the path becomes clear. If the mind is weak, every step becomes heavy. There is a reason powerful men and women guard their thoughts. They know that the enemy begins his work long before actions ever show. He whispers doubt, he plants fear, he feeds confusion, hoping you will never challenge the lies that hold you down. This is why you must educate yourself every day. You must speak truth when the world speaks noise. You must fill your mind with what lifts you rather than what cages you. When you learn deliberately, you break the chains of ignorance that hide real strength. You rise above the voices that try to shape your identity without earning that right. You cannot change your life until you first change what you allow into your mind. Every book you read, every teaching you embrace, every truth you study becomes a weapon for the days when weakness surrounds you. The mind that is trained daily becomes steady even when storms try to shake it. You begin to stand firm because you know what is real, and you refuse to bow before anything less. Educating yourself is not optional if you desire a life of purpose. It is the door through which every form of strength must pass. And the one who builds a strong mind walks with a strong life. Learning every day makes you spiritually strong and morally unmovable, because it sharpens the very core of who you are. When you consistently seek truth, you build a foundation that cannot be shaken by opinions or shifting trends. Paul Washer often reminds you that a shallow faith collapses the moment pressure arrives, but a mind trained in truth stands firm. Daily learning becomes the anchor that keeps your heart steady, even when the world demands that you follow its noise. Every lesson you absorb strengthens your character from the inside. Every moment of learning becomes a step toward unwavering spiritual clarity. There will be days when you feel the weight of doubt pressing against your chest, and the world will try to convince you that compromise is easier than conviction. But when you have been educating yourself every single day, those voices lose their power. You begin to see the difference between what feels good and what is right. You stand firm not because you are naturally strong, but because you have trained your spirit with diligence. Learning creates a shield around your heart that protects you from the lies that seek to weaken you. It reminds you that truth is not a feeling but a direction you choose. And once your spirit learns to recognize truth, it refuses to bow before anything less. There is a confidence that grows inside a person who learns daily. It is not pride, and it is not arrogance. It is the calm certainty of someone who knows where they stand and why they stand there. When you feed your spirit with truth every day, you become a person who cannot be easily moved or easily broken. You walk with clarity because your mind is filled with understanding instead of confusion. You walk with strength because your heart is anchored in something eternal. And learning every day becomes the quiet discipline that shapes a powerful life. The person who seeks wisdom daily never walks in darkness again because truth begins to guide every step. When you choose to learn with intention, your eyes open to things others overlook. You begin to see the consequences of choices before you make them, and you begin to recognize the traps that once fooled you. Wisdom makes you slower to fall and quicker to rise. It protects you from repeating the same painful mistakes that once drained your strength. And it teaches you that clarity is a reward earned through daily discipline. When you seek wisdom every day, you start to understand the deeper patterns of life. You learn that real growth is not sudden but steady, and that every moment of learning becomes a seed planted in the future. Paul Washer often reminds you that a person guided by truth cannot be easily led by deception. Wisdom trains your spirit to listen for what is real and to reject what threatens your purpose. It helps you see through the comfort of excuses and the emptiness of distractions. And when others lose their way, you remain grounded because you know what you stand upon. Wisdom becomes the light that carries you forward. There is a peace that fills the life of someone who seeks wisdom continually. It does not matter how loud the world grows because the person who knows truth does not panic. You walk with confidence because you are guided by understanding, not by emotion. You walk with certainty because wisdom has shaped the way you think and the way you choose. Each new day becomes an opportunity to rise higher than the day before. And the more wisdom you gather, the more darkness loses its hold over your path. This is why the one who seeks wisdom daily never walks in darkness again. In the end, your life becomes the proof of what you chose to learn and what you chose to ignore. Every day you educate your mind, you strengthen your spirit, and you sharpen your vision. You rise above confusion because you now walk with understanding. You stand firm because your heart is anchored in truth. And you move forward with confidence because wisdom lights your path. Keep learning every day, and your life will become a testimony of strength, clarity, and purpose.